And we are back.
GM.
GM. I know I said it before, say it again. I still think we should change the name.
To what?
MG. MG. No. Fine. Okay. So we are doing back to back because I'm leaving.
Yes. Maybe you can start off with that. What's the trip about? If you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I have to, because I messed up the audio today, I only actually have about half an hour.
All right.
Before I have to leave you, which is not a good way to leave you for 12 days, 30. Are you going to be okay when I leave?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, fine then. No love lost either. Yeah, I'm heading off to Pakistan on Friday. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for the idea that I borrowed from you. So, you know when we spoke about, I think we spoke about money on episode 4.
Yeah.
So money is not like the end goal. It's a kind of a byproduct of being able to do or being good at your work or being able to deliver value. What that means is when I've been working and building my own consulting firm, my brother turns 40 this year, and he's also, can I say that? I don't know if I can say that. There's also another big life event happening happening this year, towards the middle of the year. So what that meant, so his birthday's in August. So for a kind of joint 40th birthday and Christmas gift, I bought him a motorcycle tour in Pakistan, which we will be. So I'm flying him out and meeting him there in Islamabad. So I'll fly out on Friday. I think he'll fly out on. It's my cat on Friday evening. Just so you know, my cat is in no pain or danger whatsoever. She's just craving attention. So yeah, we're going to go on a Karakoram highway for like 12 days. And from what I can see, it looks pretty epic. So I'm looking forward to that trip because there's not going to be a lot of Wi-Fi or internet connectivity. So are you sure you're going to be okay?
I think that's a question for you. So walk us through what's the...
It sounds like I'm not going to be okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Walk us through the itinerary. Like, what's it going to be? What's it going to look like?
So I can't, because my planning has been arranging it through the tour provider, and that is it. I don't know the itinerary or where we are actually going. How crazy is that? You know, it's actually lucky that you're asking me that right now, because I can look. Whilst I'm looking, what's been happening with you, man?
Not much.
You say that every time. Come on.
Yeah.
We need a better trigger response.
Sleep deprivation. I think that's a very serious thing. So
Sleep deprivation. Is that because of what I told you about the time I got to bed?
Not only you. I think most people are just sleep deprived or don't take care of their sleep. And previous episode we talk about, what are some of the 10x levers, right, or actions that we can take. I think sleep is one of them. I don't know the science behind it.
Doesn't seem counterintuitive. Get more done by lying down and closing your eyes.
So we both do sports, right? Endurance sports.
I'm an athlete.
Yeah, we're both athletes. Pro. Okay,
Pro.
Maybe not pro yet, but semi-pro.
I'll tell you about my dinner last night. then you'll question it.
Eating can be a sport too. I mean,
I'm making it into one. It's a personal sport of mine.
But as athletes, right, recovery is a...
I'm not an athlete. I'm just putting it out there, I'm not an athlete. As people that partake in different sports. There you go. Yes.
True. But let's take the example of like pro athletes, right? Recovery is plays a big role in their development as well.
Yeah.
So you can't just train every single day without taking care of your recovery.
Okay.
So it might sound counterintuitive, but the body needs that period of rest to rebuild and, I guess, recover from the amount of stress that it's been through, and it's ready for the next stress event, right? Yeah.
All right. I found that as I was getting older. Also, by the way, I just want to point out that the audio isn't going to be the best on this podcast. Just for those people that are listening, the 3 devoted, loyal people that we have listening, which is basically me and Min and my cat. I can't remember how old I was, because before like running and doing like endurance events, I was going to say sports, I used to go to the gym every day and just try and lift heavy weights. And then after, I don't know if it was when I turned 30 or not, but I started to realize how tired I was getting from going to the gym. And I didn't really know what the biggest change was. And I read up about it. I read some headlines. It's the best way to consume content, headline reading, and then making assumptions from there. And it was, apparently the amount of stress that you're putting on your central nervous system to kind of shift weight, especially when you're doing kind of big compound movements. And that, I think, just my recovery time as I'm adding years, shall I say, is sleep has become even more important, and I just didn't get enough last night. Can I blame you for that? Or can I blame my poor time management? I'll blame my poor time management.
Yeah.
But we got the timestamps done, at least.
Yes, thanks for that.
Is that the right way to do it?
Yeah.
It is?
It is.
Okay. I thought I sucked at it. But I'll have a look. I wasn't like squinting too much to see if it's actually the right thing to do. Okay, 10x through sleeping. How do you get quality sleep? Have you got a set time to get up, go to bed every single day?
No, that's a problem. Why? Yeah, so I try to sleep earlier these days, like latest by 10.
Really?
Because I usually, to make it for this podcast, I have to get up by like 5:30, leave the house by 6, right? So yeah, I make sure I get sufficient sleep. But obviously sometimes, I see something. Most of the times that doesn't happen, right? You get caught up with like stuff you need to do, and then you just neglect your sleep. I think it comes down to, we had this conversation about like time management.
Yeah.
It comes down to your prioritization. Like everyone could be doing so many things, right? But what are the right things to do that actually drives? So applying your energy in the right places. I think that's really important.
What's that saying? Where focus goes, energy flows.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good segue into a couple of areas around kind of values, beliefs, and behaviors as well. Because obviously, what you prioritize is what's important to you, and what's important to you is defined a lot by your values, and then obviously that drives your behaviors. So it's an interesting way to kind of evaluate where you're actually spending your time as well from a prioritization point of view. Because you're placing bets for yourself in the future, or making decisions for yourself in the future by the way you prioritize your tasks. And that there was one thing I wanted to kind of mention, but it's like 2 sentences, which I will clearly drag out for an even longer period of time. Sorry, I'm drinking my Barocca. This isn't urine, by the way. It's actual Barocca. Did you want one?
No, I'm good. I think that looks radioactive.
You should see it on the way out. It's the same colour. It's gross. I remember the first time I took it, and then I went to the washroom, and I panicked a little bit. Yeah, I thought I was literally radioactive.
It's funny, right? Like they could have made this any color. If you think about it, but they made it orange. Yeah. For familiarity, so it doesn't look.
With orange taste.
Well, they could make it lime taste and make it like lime green.
Well, they've got like a mango one as well. Same colour. Anyway.
Yeah.
To-do lists.
Can
you remind me to talk about to-don't lists as well?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. To-do lists. So from the conversations I have with various people about prioritization, don't want to call it a productivity hack or anything like that. It's just something I've been doing for quite a while, and I can't remember where I heard it. There's a story about it somewhere. I don't know if it was like Henry Ford and a blank check and like $10,000. It's like, if you feel this advice is worth it, I put the number down. Have you heard this story?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, probably because I'm not telling it very well. Anyway, planning your day or your priority tasks the night before. So I do that. That's one of the things I do every day. So before I go to bed, actually writing down, pen and paper, not. So I do have like an electronic to-do list, which is any.do if you've heard of it. And that's where when I'm out, I'll kind of just note stuff down quickly. But every day before I wrap up, or every night before I go to bed, it will be the top kind of 2-3 things I want to get done the next day, because that allows me to program myself. Or when I wake up, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So there isn't that period of uncertainty around, okay, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to start my day? Because once you can start, then you can kind of get into a flow of getting the things that you'd like to get done.
Yep.
I think Brian Tracy talked about eat that frog. You heard this?
Do the hardest things first, or something like that.
Like do the hardest, or I don't want to say the most disgusting, but the things that make you a little bit uncomfortable at the start of the day when you're freshest. Can I put like some caveats and brackets there?
Yeah.
I think that book is written on the premise that most people are freshest at the first point in the day. So getting that work done, or getting those tasks done that involve like a lot of cognitive work, should be done then. However, here's a caveat: if you are freshest in an afternoon and that's when you're most creative and get your best work done, then prioritize it in that way. But going back to what I was mentioning, doing your to-do list before you go to bed is a game changer for me, for sure. Because there's so much to do all of the time, then it kind of helps you prioritize and get you going, I suppose, as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, I think, exactly. I can't remember where I've heard this or read this, like your 3 most important tasks. Always, you can be doing so many things, but really list down your 3 most important tasks and get those done first. Everything else can wait. And when you prioritize that the night before, it sets you up for like, okay, that focus, right? When you talk about focus, where focus goes, energy flows.
Yeah. Where is that from?
It sounds like Tony Robbins said that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It does sound like a very Tony Robbins thing.
Yeah.
I wonder what it'd be like to meet him. I've seen one of his shoes. Does that count? You know, in the Mind Valley office, they have that in the foyer.
Really?
Yeah. They have this big white Tony Robbins. I don't know what size it is. It's like size of a billion. It's just like massive shoe, because it's obviously a big dude. It's like white New Balance shoe in a glass box. It is pretty cool, to be fair. But I would like to meet him. To-don't lists.
Yes.
What are the things you're not going to do? I think it was Justin Welsh that was writing about this on the LinkedIn. I think he's done it really well, you know. Like how he's I don't know if he was like an instigator about this solopreneurship and all that kind of stuff, but he seemed to be a driving force behind it. Ex-CRO of Patient Pop, I think it was, and getting overwhelmed, and his health was kind of falling out of whack, and he wanted to break away from the rat race, pretty much. And he went on to build a community online through LinkedIn and help people reach the audience they need to. Started posting regularly and basically built an entire business around how to market yourself on LinkedIn. And then he essentially copy and pasted a lot of what he learned on LinkedIn onto Twitter and built his audience there as well, which was crazy. And then I think he was one of these first people that created a course about how to do these things, and I bought it. And you know what? It's really good. Yeah, $150 US, and it really helped. Well, put it this way: the ROI on that $150 was a lot. Not just for me, because I learned a lot, and then I can talk to other people about it as well. It's been very beneficial. But coming back to what I was mentioning, as I said, this one sentence thing, I like to drag it out. He talks about to-don't lists, the things that you're not going to do, or being aware of where you're, I don't want to say wasting your time. Yeah, wasting your time or wasting your energy. What are the things that you're doing that you really shouldn't be doing, that aren't really driving towards the goals that you have for yourself or the person that you want to turn into? And then ensuring that you steer away from those. So lots of people have to-do lists. Not a lot of people have to-don't lists. There's no original thought there. It's just something I would like to mention. Do you have any thoughts on that?
To-don't list. So I deactivated my Instagram.
You know what? I'm really sad about that. Because there's a bunch of memes that I really, or some people call them memes, that I really want to send you. Because they're brilliant.
You can send them through WhatsApp.
I'm sure that's a love language. Music and memes.
It is. I think, just based on my, what do you call that? I'm looking for the word here.
I can't help you. Give me some context. Continue the sentence.
Just me swiping and reading people's profiles.
Yeah.
It does seem like memes are a love language problem.
Wait. Are you calling these profiles of people memes? They're like living, breathing memes. Is that what you're saying?
No. Like my love, some of them actually put like, oh yeah, love language is like send me memes, right?
Yeah.
So,
but isn't it the best? Like when somebody sends me a meme, someone's thought about my level, depth, whatever the bad one is, of humor. Because when I see some of this stuff, it's like, your humor's broken, man. Like, what are you sending me this for? And I am in pieces. Like, there's some really, really, really good ones. To that, when you sent me the that stand-up comedian dude, that Brazilian, right? It was so good. And it means a lot. It means a lot when you send that to somebody. It's like, hey, this person thought about me when they were watching this and they thought I'd really like it and therefore I'm going to watch it. And that's how I feel about memes. Anyway, talk to me about why you believe people are memes.
No. That was my point. My point was like, don't list, right?
Yeah.
So I deactivated my Instagram because I realized it's just a time suck. It's a means for me to just escape. I feel a lot of times I'm on there and I'm just escaping, right? I'm like just scrolling, and what does that do for me? Rather than just escape. So I realized, you know what, my energy could be applied better elsewhere. So I deactivated it, and has it changed my life? I don't know, but all I know is I have more time to focus on what I need to do for myself.
But then I don't get to send you memes, man.
You can send them through WhatsApp.
So I've done this a few times, like deleted Instagram. I haven't been on Facebook in years. I deleted that because there was no real value to it. Interestingly, based on what Facebook used to be, LinkedIn is starting to edge more towards that. Obviously, you're only fed a lot of what you like and comment on and who you message on LinkedIn, but it's becoming a lot more personal now. There is a definite blend and overlap between personal and professional. I don't know if it's going too far one way or not, to see how it kind of pans out. I just know there's a lot of people on there, and it's like business social networking. Anyway, on the point of Instagram, deleted it a bunch of times. And then I put it back on because it's how I kind of communicate and stay in touch with people. Because not always you can be on phone calls, and not everyone responds to WhatsApps and things like that. So I kind of had it. But one thing I did do, hold it down, remove from home screen. So there's an additional couple of steps you need to take in order to access it, rather than actually being able to just click on it on your home screen. Because that way it's making it a bit more difficult. So when James Clear talks about habits, he talks about make it easy. So the flip side to that is, how can you make bad habits hard? Remove yourself from an environment, create friction steps that are there. So it's one of those things I try to implement. So it's just changing the way I use my phone. So it's beneficial for me. I don't want to tell you to download it again, but please download it again. Send it on WhatsApp. All right, fine. I'll send it on WhatsApp.
I've tried it before, like making it more difficult, right? I have to enter a password to access, like I can have it locked. I can even turn on like what do you call that? Well, there's a function on my phone that gives you like blocks out the app for a
Ooh.
certain amount of time, and
Yeah.
I mean you can disable it. It's an extra step, but I find myself disabling it. It's going through that extra step just to disable it, right? So maybe it's the lack of self control. I don't know, but just deactivating it and removing it completely is what works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'm guessing you don't have Facebook then.
I mean, I do, but I don't use it. Right?
Some people still use it. Don't know who uses it. What do you use it for? You ever used it?
To sell my bike.
Really?
I think it's just mainly looking at groups like buying and selling, like Facebook marketplaces to sell my stuff.
Yeah.
That's about it, really. I don't use it to stay in touch or connect with people. I mean, occasionally, like memories pop up. Like Facebook tells you, oh yeah, 10 years ago or whatnot. Then okay, cool.
Google Photos. It's better.
Right.
Because they're your memories and they're just there. That's why I like to take or start to take more pictures. Because you get these reminders that come up like, oh my god, this is this long ago. That's pretty cool. What was the other things you kind of wanted to talk about today? Was there much you wanted to talk about today? Did we have a lot to talk about today?
Well, a continuation from yesterday would be like slowing down, I guess.
Yes.
Talking about death and
Jesus.
like life moves actually really quickly if you think about it. Time waits for no man or woman or anything in between. It's
good save.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we're always like chasing stuff, right? And how often do you actually just slow down and enjoy the moment? That's one.
Yeah.
Two is also like reflecting on your journey. Yeah. I think.
Why were you thinking about this? Was this after the funeral thing?
Not really. Well, personally for myself, I feel sometimes you lose your sense of like direction or not really purpose, but maybe it could be purpose, right?
Yeah.
When you're always on execution mode.
When you're always doing.
Yeah, exactly. When you're always doing, it becomes like, oh yeah, a repetitive task, and sometimes you just lose sight, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's that time for you to think about, okay, how about I slow down and just kind of recalibrate, reconnect with myself, because the doing is always about something that's external, right? But we don't really take care of the internal. And I feel like slowing down is that one way to actually connect back with who you are.
This is how, basically, there is, especially in the world of work, employee-employer relationships, managers, bosses, quotas, KPIs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you slow down?
Depending on the situation, I guess. Like.
Okay, how do you personally slow down then? How did you start?
Number one would be recognizing. So personally for myself, when the first feeling that comes to kind of like my mind or my heart when I need to slow down is when, like I said, when I feel like I'm just executing without a sense of like purpose anymore or without a sense of direction anymore. I'm just executing.
Yeah.
Because there's always that next thing, right? And then realizing that I need to make time to just slow down. Might be easy to say, but I think as I don't know if I could share like what's going on, in terms of like in the organization, right? When you have week on week kind of like growth metrics that you need to hit.
Yeah.
Everyone's really focused on that, right? And there's no chance for slowing down because you got to hit all these milestones every single week. But really, to go fast, you need to actually go slow first. And oftentimes people skip that first step.
Go all the time.
Yeah, it's actually very easy to go fast. Even from like my experience of just cycling, it's so easy to go fast. You want me to do zone 2 for 4 hours? No way. But if you want me to go fast, like, oh yeah, we're racing, like 4 hours, smashing it to Fraser's with Damien, even though it's a 2.
Ooh, oh wow. Sorry, seems calling me. Wow.
Must be important.
Must be important.
You take a pause.
Don't know where my phone is. Where's my phone?
Find my iPhone.
Yeah, I might need to do that. Keep it rolling. Sorry, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a sec. Please hold that thought. What was your thought?
I lost it.
Oh, find it again. Brief intermission. My apologies.
Okay. How much time do we have left?
I think we're okay. Apologies. I had to take a call from a CRM provider. And I imagine we've lost the thought.
Oh, what were we talking about?
I've got no idea.
Oh man. Slowing down.
Slowing down. How do you yourself slow down with all the milestones and metrics and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, we're talking about it's easy to go fast, right?
And then because you're talking about racing and smashing out for
right. Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in that. Yeah, go fast, do.
Yeah.
But really, the foundation is what enables you to go fast. So, as an athlete or as athletes,
thank you for bringing me into your athletic circle.
We talk about zone 2 training, like especially for endurance sports, right? Or endurance events. Your base training in zone 2 is really important. And most of the time, people just don't have it. I say most people, personally, just don't have the patience to go through that zone 2 training.
Yeah.
And I was reflecting, like, back in my college days when I was like training for cross country races. I'm part of the cross country team and track team, and a lot of times, you have structured workouts, right? And then you have easy days. And because I'm so competitive, I'm like, okay, I really want to see that. I really want to kind of like outwork everyone, right? But really, I wasn't taking easy during the easy days. And really, when I reflected back on my growth or my development, I was actually growing much slower than everyone else.
Yeah.
When everyone took it easy, they really took it easy. And when they, when we had the like sprint sessions and hill training, they really went all out.
Yeah.
Right? So when you don't have that, it comes back to recovery as well, right?
Yeah.
If you don't give your body that amount of rest and recovery, you can't really go hard during the times when you actually need to go hard.
So you just kind of at like this mediocre level.
Exactly.
Rather than,
yeah.
That's interesting because it's also true from not just from a physical standpoint, right? From a mental standpoint as well. And we spoke a few weeks ago about the burnout and burn down as well. So it kind of rings true with that. You've got to give yourself time to relax and recuperate. Like looking at memes, maybe.
Yeah, but I think people need to prioritize that.
Yeah.
The world will not give you time to slow down. Let's just put it that way.
You need to make time for yourself first. What do they say in a plane? Secure your own oxygen mask first before you take care of other people. I did have a thought on this one, but I immediately lost it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I do this because I was listening. That's what it was.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Prompts. Help me out. Going fast. Yes, it's back.
Oh.
There it is. I know I bang on a lot about it a lot. One-to-ones. Actually catching up with somebody that will, and this is what I had to do with you as well, and we spoke about this, forcing you to reflect and maybe stop and fucking go home and relax, because otherwise you would just be constantly wanting to work and get stuff done, and you are not optimal when you're constantly go.
Yeah.
So having others that are around you that know you and can help you identify times when maybe you need to take a step back is quite important. And then we can come back to talking about community as well. Those that can really push you, that we spoke about. But then there's also those people that know you and say, hey, how about we go steady? How about we back off a little bit? How about we take some time to recuperate and relax? I think it's all this talk about work hard, play hard, rest hard as well. Maybe that's why I like to sleep. But I just didn't. So my priorities, kitten that we found. That,
right, yeah.
Yeah, that is why I got to bed late.
Okay. Doesn't sound like he has a name yet.
He does.
Oh.
We've gone with Donnie.
Okay.
Because we have Ginny and Teddy. So after our ride on Sunday, I found this kitten under the car that was crying, looked a bit lost. And then I kind of walked up and down the road after I managed to kind of get hold of him, and I couldn't find any sign of mum or dad or siblings or anyone else. And just on that back stretch of road is like it's that long road, right, where the cars are parked behind Damien's. Couldn't see anything. So I was like, oh God. Picked it up, took it home, then got it over to an emergency vet. And the vet was like, okay, we need to run some tests. Ran some tests, then he's got feline COVID, this thing called, is it FPV, basically parvo virus, which puts them in a 50-50 chance of survival. And he said, like, this is how much it's going to cost you. And I think we speak about this when we went for a run. I was like, okay, I'll pay it. I don't even know it. Like, okay, I'll pay. And then we found an alternative, which was cheaper, and he's responding really, really well. So after I kind of wrapped up my work last night and doing all the timestamps and everything, I obviously spent some time with him because he's lonely and I think he's scared as well. So I just want to make sure he's eating and peeing and pooping and drinking water, and he seems to be doing okay, which is a good thing. I'm a sucker for animals. I'll drop everything back. So I had 2 meetings, right, on Sunday. That's why I had to get back.
Yeah.
So I cancelled one and then worked our way around to pushing another one. But then this comes back to essentially the stuff that we were just talking about. Although you want to go fast and you want to get a lot done, it's okay. Things can move around. People are understanding. And that's okay too. Priorities. If you know what you believe in and what you stand for, there's ways you'll find a way to make it work. The end.
Yeah.
And there's something else as well. See, my brain's all over the place today. See, my priority was on the cat.
Yeah.
I did not secure my own oxygen mask. So I went to bed just after 2. When my alarm went off this morning, I was like, ugh. Getting out of bed was a hard one. It was. Talking about... Yeah, it's gone. That one's gone completely. Talking about endurance racing and running and stuff like that. Can't remember, man. Feel like I let you down today.
It's okay. I don't think I have any other thoughts to contribute at this point. Yeah.
When's your date again? I just want to wrap up on this.
We always wrap up.
We are. I think we should always start and end with this thing because this is an important thing, man. Like I said, I'm really bought into this.
I don't know if anyone else listening are just as bought in. Or maybe this is what will get us a lot of like.
A lot of love.
I was gonna say listeners, but
No. I'm on this journey with you now, so I'd like to keep updated on your movements.
Yeah, I need to get some referral channels going.
Yes. When is your date?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Ice cream, right?
Yeah. I read somewhere that on getting ice cream makes so people associate the environment also actually affects how people perceive you. So if you're getting coffee or something that's warm, they perceive you as like having that warm personality. And if you get anything cold like dessert or ice cream, they perceive there's a higher chance, or I don't know. I don't know if there's actual
Who wrote
science
this?
behind it. I can't remember where I wrote this, where I read this. But I'm like, you know what? I'll just take my chances.
Who recommended the ice cream?
I did.
So you saying you perceive this person as cold or yourself as cold?
No, like, well, I'm like, there's no science behind this. I'll just try it and actually see if it's true.
Okay.
Not everything you read on the internet is true.
Who's that quote from?
I can't remember.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know how it goes. I'm going to be away, of course, but I would like this as a talking point for next time, for sure. We've overran a bit, so I'm going to have to wrap up.
Yeah.
Sorry for the short one today.
No problem. We're just figuring out, the new mic and technical issues do happen.
I need a technical operator to help me out. So in summary from today, ice cream means you're a cold person and you believe all people are memes.
Well, ice cream will make other people perceive you as cold, but
Are we gonna finish on that? Have you got have you got a quote that you'd like to finish on?
I don't know. No.
You don't know.
No one ever knows anything.
Okay. I will see you on the 23rd. Today.
Okay, yeah.
See you in
2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Cool.
Thanks, Min.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.